All right, here we are, 7:30. Oh, what am I talking about? 7:30. I'm still. My timing is. Why did I think it was 7:30? It's actually the show would be over. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. I sure did. It went by like this. No, it's actually 6:30. What am I talking about? Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K. Uh, I'm still kind of thrown off with the time and the way the day is because it gets lighter longer and the days are longer, but they're not warmer. I don't know what's going on with the weather. How did you guys all make out this weekend with the crazy Saturday flooding and raining and oh my gosh, it was a mess out there. I'll tell you, it threw off my whole weekend. It was quite a storm, but I do say better rain than snow, right? But the weather's not warmed up. We got spoiled. Early March, we had even late February, a couple of weeks of 60 degree, almost 70. And now we're like hovering in the low 40s. It's just not good. Um, but don't they say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb or something like that? And I'm sure the lamb reference is to Easter coming up where everybody slaughters the right, the leg of lamb, right? Isn't that the meal of choice? The poor lamb, poor Bambi. Well, Bambi was a deer, not a lamb. Anyway, I would have so many great songs to play for the theme of the show today, but yet I'll have to just tell you them because I can't. Because of course we're under YouTube restriction, Facebook restriction. We can't play any music, no copyright. What's going on at Govs Radio? I need to talk to somebody there. Next week, we will be back in the studio, and we're going to have a guest. I think I mentioned this last week. Joshy K, the magician, will be in the studio, hopefully performing magic. Now, I tried to get Siegfried and Roy, but I think one of them was mauled by a tiger, so you'll have to settle for Joshy K. Maybe he'll bring in a little cat or something. I'll ask him. Maybe he could bring in. I was watching a little bit of that on CNN Vegas, Sin City, where they're talking about Las Vegas, and they got up to the part about Siegfried and Roy and how they were such a spectacle. Like that was the show to go to Vegas to see. And I'm sorry I never got to Vegas to see one or both of them get mauled by that tiger. But what are you gonna do? And I don't know. I don't know. I am fascinated by magic. I like Penn and Teller, or illusionists that the David Copperfields of the world, and of course, all of them. But I'm not. I don't know. I was never into magic as a kid. Kids get a magic. I try. Not big. So, but I'm very. That's why I'm kind of interested for our guest. To come on, and we'll talk to him this week. I don't know if he's going to perform a trick or not, so I hope he will. Talk to us, tell us a little bit, maybe a little peek behind the curtain on how magic tricks work, and we shall see. I wonder, how I know the illusionists, the magicians, they all have their little secrets and tricks. I hope he gives us a little divulges some information for us, right? So I would have played Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, the great raspy voice of Bonnie Tyler. But of course I can't because YouTube. I could play Blue's Clues, Look Who's Got a Letter, but I can't because of YouTube. Because those are some of the topics we're going to be talking about. But before we start the show, before anything above all, let me wish my nephew Kevin and his lovely bride Grace a happy anniversary. It is their 1 year. 1 year is paper? I think 1 year is paper or something like that. Or tinfoil. I'm not really sure. I hope it's... I could always use tinfoil. I wrap everything up, but including the show. But so wish them a happy anniversary. I was there at the wedding. I can't believe it was a year ago. I'll tell you, time goes by just too fast. I remember the wedding like it was yesterday. And also my other nephew got married in between then. So a bunch of weddings for the family. So that, wish them that as well. What other business do we have to take care of? We talked about the weather. We talked about the anniversary. Yes, there is some NASA spatial geological events happening to us. There is a total eclipse. It's a total solar eclipse, which means the moon is between the Earth and the Sun. That's going to be happening April 8th, and actually Governor Hochul, Governor Hochul, she's got stations where you can get glasses to witness this, because you just don't want to look up, right? You remember everybody gets the glasses, and you got to pretend you can't. Oh, I can't look. I'm blind. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but there are stations, you can Google it, where you're nearest, if you want to pick up one of these 3D glasses. Remember when they had 3D movies on TV and you had to go to 7-Eleven to get the 3D glasses? Well, this is something similar. Maybe you'll get this, she'll put them in all the 7-Elevens, and they'll combine it with some kind of drink offer, like a Celsius, right? Get a Celsius, get a free pair of glasses so you don't go blind. But yes, that will be April 8th, so that the best place to see it on that day, between 3:30ish, would be if you were at Niagara Falls. So people are making plans. I mean, this is a huge thing. People that are real naturists, observationists, that really enjoy this or just want to see this, are going to spend their money, going up to that area, more northern New York, upstate, to see this event. You will be able to witness it, though, here. Like I said, it's April 8th. So I believe that's trying to think. That's a Monday, I believe. And it'll be, like I said, around 3:30ish. You might get the sky might get a little dark, might get a little gray out, depending on where you are. Now, my mom brought it to my attention that tonight you can see the Northern Lights, which is also a very celestial event, where it's kind of these fragments, it's geomagnetic fragments that are shooting out of space, gets close to the Earth's atmosphere, and hopefully they'll ricochet off and not sizzle through and dive right into the planet. But it could affect radio sound waves. You might have some issues if you are interested in listening to a 1962 transistor radio and you can't get your favorite station in. That might be a problem. Otherwise, you'll be fine. But that's tonight if you want to see the Northern Lights. Go outside. I think it's later tonight. I'm not sure the exact time. Later this evening. Obviously, when it gets dark, you'll see it best. You might see something streaking across the sky. And hopefully it's something like that. Something colorful and pretty amazing to see. So, we cover everything here. We're a nature show as well. I am flying solo tonight, as you can see. Although along with, and I need your help, folks. This is Kermit, and we've had Kermit for many years now, and Kermit's hanging on. He's got a couple of leaves. He's doing pretty good. I think he does better in the spring and summer. I think he'll really thrive in the warmer weather. He's like me. My leaves are not really, I feel like that. My leaves, my hair, everything is kind of frozen and wilted and just not loving this kind of weather. I do so much better in the warmer weather. That's what you do. Are you having your omega-3s? I can't talk enough about omega-3s, the healthy fat. Definitely have your nuts and fruits and good things like that. The omega-3s, the antioxidants of the world. I like these. These are really good. This is from Nature's Garden, the organic healthy nuts. Actually, my niece, Kelly, got me these. These are very good. I always have them as a snack. Very good. But you should definitely try to add that to your diet. They were speaking of diet, CNN had a doctor on the other night, and he was talking about this intermittent fasting, right? We always hear everybody, whatever's trendy, right? There's South Beach diets, there's keto diets, paleo diets, now the intermittent diets, intermittent fasting, and everybody's, you eat from 12 to 6, 1 to 1:30, you eat all you can for 20 minutes, and then for 23 hours you starve yourself. They have found no correlation to weight loss to the population pool that they use, the sample size, to people that did not restrict their hourly engorging of food. So what does this say? It says what I've always said. This is a lot of malarkey. It's just another diet to sell books and videos and stuff like that and get likes and Instagram, things like that. So what do I always say? Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Always just eat your healthy foods, eat throughout the day, let your body learn a metabolism that it's comfortable with. If you are alternating time restricted and restraints, your body is not going to get on a flow. And it's going to, it wants to recognize a balance or a homeostatic feel, which is really a rhythm. And if you're throwing it off by saying, today I'm going to fast, tomorrow I'm going to eat from 12, the body doesn't know where to land. And that's when it runs into trouble. So what's the end result? Just eat. Just eat normal, eat healthy, eat your omegas, eat your proteins, and enjoy. And tell them Stevie K sent you. You see, I'm doing this health segment without Steve here. As he would not be a contributor, or he would not lend his stamp of approval. I have been trying to get him to, I'm on this kick. I'm trying to get, really push these type of things. I always am. But I find that I'm getting, I've even gotten a few more clients or people interested. March is always, people think New Year's resolution, January is when everybody works out. It's March. January, it used to be, but people are still paying their holiday bills. They know they're cold. They can dress with layers. They're not concerned. As soon as you hit that first 60-degree day, that's when panic sets in, the likes of which you have not seen. When they know beach season is just a sheer 3 months away, that's when the panic really sets in. Anyway, total eclipse of the heart. What else do we got? Northern Lights. We're going to party like it's 1989 because we have a little 1989 clip paper here, which is pretty cool. Opening day is this week, speaking of which. The Yankees. Do I have my Yankee hat here? I do. The Yankees. Opening day. Opening day. Let's get the hat going. Let's get some vibe here. Opening day, March 28th. We'll see. I have to. I'm not into baseball mode yet. I'm really into the Knicks mode. They've been doing well, and so I'm kind of more locked in on that. The Knicks will be playing tonight, and I'm just more there at the end of the season. Playoffs will be starting. I'm more baseball's so long, and I'll watch opening day. But again, I've talked about this before. Players with injuries, they're not there. It's a struggle, to get into this. But I will. But right now I'm into basketball, and how could you not be with all of the college basketball going on, the March Madness? Boy, there was a crazy game. Well, for those Yale fans or Ivy League fans, Yale lost last night. I was hoping they would make a run. I always like a Cinderella upset team to make a run. Especially when I hate the top number one seeded teams. I cannot stand Purdue. I cannot stand Houston. I cannot stand who's the other one that I can't stand? UConn. Oh gosh, big non-fan of UConn. I just don't like these teams. Last night there was, what a game. Houston, speaking of which, played Texas A&M, the Aggies of Texas. And this game was crazy. The guy hits a buzzer shot, three-pointer, sends it into overtime. It was a really exciting game. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great game. but they lost, so I would have liked them to win. But it was an exciting game, and the Knicks are playing tonight. So I'm more in the basketball sense, not so much the baseball, but I'll get there. I'm always love the Yanks and baseball. We'll get there. I also, just speaking of Houston, that's where the Yankees open up. They're on the road. Whoever made up the schedule is just, come on. I mean, you put the Yankees in Houston, and an afternoon game. Opening day to me is at the stadium, sun shining, beautiful, opening day. The bunting around the stadium. Not this, in Houston. I hate those fans. I hate Altuve. I hate those people. But hopefully Judge will play. I don't know. He's got that big toe issue. But speaking of the Knicks, how about all of a sudden Jalen Brunson, Mr. Quiet, is now a Mac Daddy model. He's got his own clothing line. He was just signed by Brooks Brothers to models wear some of their suits. And I'm frustrated because during the Knicks game, they speak to different people who are doing different projects related to the Knicks. And this company got Jalen Brunson to be on board, and he's kind of wearing their brand of Knicks apparel, and it looks amazing. It's some cardigans and some sweaters and T-shirts and button-downs, and of course I can't find the website, or I don't know the name of the company. So I'll have to do a little more research, a little more Googling, if you will, and hopefully we'll find that, because I saw it looked interesting. Let's see. Well, I am going to talk about, we're going to get there in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about Blue's Clues. I don't know, for those of you who remember the show Blue's Clues, with the little Blue and the clues and the host Steve. His name was Steve Burns, but he was great. I remember watching that. It was a good show, and so there's some information now. The shows during that time, Blue's Clues, iCarly, Victorious, Zoe 101, all of those kind of, Drake and Josh, all of those shows were created and run by this producer, Dan Schneider. And now it's come out that a lot of the shows were, it was a very uncomfortable environment, so to speak. I'll leave it at that. And there's this docuseries that's out called Quiet on the Set. And it's kids on TV, and it's interesting. Look it up. It's called Quiet on the Set. Quiet on Set. And it's kids on TV, and it's about all of those shows and how the kids have come out and things like that, and it's pretty interesting. But so Steve from Blue's Clues is doing this TikTok video where he kind of is telling his fans, he's asking them how they are and reaching out to them. I'm sure they'll have a different response than when they were 5, now that they're probably 25 or 30. That show was back in, I wrote down the years, it was like 1998 to 2002. It was ran for 4 years. Great children's show. And that, so you're looking at 20 years ago, exactly. So if you were watching it when you were 5, 6, 7, 8, you're 20 years later now, you're 25 to 30. And he is 50 years old, Steve Burns. Could you imagine? He's 50 years old. And he's still, but he's still locked in, and he's still reaching out to his fans. His fan. No, he's got more than that. And how could you not love a guy that shares my name, right? That's the only reason I keep Steve on the show, because the show couldn't be called Steve. I need a Steve to make Steve Squared work. So, otherwise. Should I reveal this now? I know Steve will be very upset about. Oh my God, this is what I wanted to talk about. You thought I was crazy, right? Remember last week I was digging and I couldn't find what I wanted to tell you folk. I found it. This was the cost of seeing a game. Remember I was telling you the prices of games have gone through the roof? I'll just run through these quick. So the Knicks, like we talked about, are number 1 in the NBA for the cost, and this is based on average. It says average price tickets for a family of 4. Parking for 1 car and 2 beers, a couple of drinks, and a cap. It's, oh my gosh, $936 to do that for a family of four to Madison Square Garden. The Yankees, $348, and the Mets, $258. The Yankees are fourth in the major leagues. So it's just, I mean, and the hockey's expensive. The Rangers are right after the Knicks because it's the Gardens. They're $645. It's crazy. This is what we're talking about here. This is, oh my gosh, it's just insane. Really, really pricey to see a game like that. But I remember I was looking and I was driving myself crazy. And let's get through some of these other quick stories before I get to the main flux. Boy, what's happening here? More student debt is canceled. Oh my gosh. See, I was reading about this. Nobody ever canceled my debt. Where was this when I was paying my student loans? No? All right. Hey, if you're looking to buy cocoa or chocolate, is what apparently cocoa makes. It says here cocoa prices have surged and are hurting Easter candy sales. Due to the bad crops in West Africa, which produces, by the way, most of your cocoa, sugar prices are also rising. And what does this all mean? It means that giant Hershey Cadbury egg, that giant Hershey Easter bunny that you want to buy for little Susie, little Timmy, will not be $2 or $3. It's going to be $934, the price of a family of four to go to a Knick game. So this is what you do. Do you take the family and go to see a Knick game, or do you get Timmy that giant chocolate bunny? Anyway, I don't think it's cost that much. But the prices are rising, and of course they are. That's just the way everything is. Speaking of annoyance, I go to Cadillac this weekend, this Friday, to get my oil changed on the car. Just a very simple oil change. In, out, boom. And of course you have to make an appointment, which you really don't. I've gone there during the week, and you show up early enough in the morning, and they take you right in. Okay? But I tried that, and they were a little, they sent me away. They said, oh, we're backed up, come tomorrow. So I made an appointment. And I show up, and I say, because I've been through this before with them. I go, I just want an oil change. And I did mention a sensor that was on my radio that I wanted them to take a look at. He goes, no problem, get you in and out. 3 hours later, I'm sitting there, and I'm flipping out. I'm seething now. I'm pacing. The guy comes out, and he starts talking to me about things. He goes, you might need a couple of tires. I said, I just put tires on the car. Well, really? You could use this. I go, what? Did you do the oil change? He goes, yeah. So I go, and he tells me about this sensor, and it's ridiculously expensive. I go, I just want my car. Is the oil change done? Give me my car back. He goes, we're just going to put the tires back on the car. I say, you needed to take the tires off my car to do an oil change? I mean, I'm not a mechanic, nor do I pretend to be one, as you can obviously tell. But I don't think you need to take the tires off to perform an oil change. And he says, yeah, but we do a multi-point. I said, I didn't ask for that. So here's the point of this long-winded, ironic story. Don't let people give you what you don't want. Make it clear. Tell them what you want, and don't be afraid. Stand up. I did not do that. I said oil change, but I should have been more, feisty. I was a little, I don't think I was. I mean, I said I want an oil change, but I should have said nothing else. Don't have to check the hood. Don't check the wiper blades. Don't look in the trunk. I don't know what's in my trunk. I don't know what I could be indicted for. But I said, please, just an oil change. So I have to take care of that. So, we'll deal with that, but hey, you remember? We're gonna hopefully I might save this. I think I'm gonna save this. Should I reveal? I'll reveal at 7 o'clock. I know I've been talking about this. They have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. We have a winner for the bacon, egg, and cheese, the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on Long Island. This is a sandwich that I despise that it's being promoted, as I tell you, I'm a health advocate, and nothing's worse than a bacon, egg, and cheese. But it's fun, and it's Steve's favorite, so why not? And this is where you can get the best terrible sandwich for you on Long Island. If you're going to indulge, and this is what I tell my clients, if you're going to go all the way. Gonna get a slice of pizza, don't get some drippy slice of pizza at Penn Station. Get the best slice you can. You're gonna cheat, do it right. Don't just get some, well, I'm gonna have a slice of pizza, so I'll get it, from some street vendor on the corner. No, get yourself a good slice. Make it count. Make that count. So that's what I would say. So I'll reveal that at 7 o'clock. I think I'll do a 7 o'clock reveal. That sounds good. I mean, there was actually, let me see if I was speaking a little about health. And now, see, let me see if you're going to have to bear with me. I'm never in a prepared way, but I want to share this story with you. And I'll find it. Here it is. See, I knew I'd find it. Just have to be patient. I usually am not patient. So here, this is some findings. This was actually pretty good. This was a study finds Long Island actually pretty healthy. I'm very shocked. It says here, for Nassau County, 11% of adults smoke. Which you'd be surprised, the nationwide percentage is 15%. I would think that it was even higher because I see people smoking all the time, especially in the South, in the Midwest, when they have 12-year-olds smoking. The percent of adults with obesity. Now, Nassau County beat Suffolk County in people that smoke. Those Suffolk County people smoke. Let's be honest. They're 13%, we're 11%. Nassau's always better. Obesity. Nassau County, 27%, which is still not great. But the nationwide average, 34%, so at least we're below that. And Suffolk County, 30%. Again, they're smoking and stuffing their faces over there in Suffolk County. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to have to go over there. I wonder if they get my show in Suffolk County. I wonder if they're able to Google and get on the World Wide Web, as they call it. Boy. Anything else interesting here? Percent of adults who get insufficient sleep. Now, I must get into this area. I must bring down Nassau County's numbers dramatically because when we're talking insufficient sleep, I'm the poster child for that. Nassau County, 34% get insufficient sleep. Suffolk County, 35%. Nation average, 33%. So we do tend to stay up later. We're all-nighters on Long Island. We enjoy the Long Island life. What's there to sleep? I don't want to sleep. They have a percentage of food insecurity. I don't know what that means. Air pollution and stuff like that. But you get the idea. Basically, we're low in the smoking, very low, which is good. We're very low in obesity, which is very good. Not very low, but we're low. And, we're trying. So, but these numbers can be even better. I think they really need to, and I hope they're taking into account vapors and including that in that smoking number because it's just as bad for you. It's not any better, believe me. Vaping is not any better. Look at this thing. This looks crazy. And I show you this eagle, this big eagle, because look at this picture of it. It's a great picture. Let me show you this beautiful picture of this eagle swooping down to grab some food in the waters of Massapequa. That's the Massapequa Lake. That I run around there, and you know my luck. I'm going to get attacked by this eagle, and I will be a piece done on Newsday. That's how it's going to go for me. I'm sure when I'm running one day, because that's where I ran Sunday. I ran there yesterday. I have to be on the lookout now. It's not enough that I have to navigate the baby carriages, the crazy dogs, the kids on scooters and bicycles, now flying crazy eagles, scorching down to grab my hair, pull me off. So I have to watch out for that. I have to watch out for the beautiful eagle. Look how nice that is. Aren't eagles majestic? Beautiful birds. These are bald eagles of Massapequa called Beam. It's a group. There's a group for everything, isn't there? This is the Facebook group. Of course, it's a Facebook group called Beam. Bald eagles of Massapequa. And these are a pair of eagles nesting in the center of Massapequa Lake on what we call Mary's Island. They have not named these eagles. They should. They should name them. These are baldy. These are amazing. That's the baldy. That's what we are, right? That's what's on the money. Literally and figuratively. On the money. So, I'm going to talk about the movie. I just saw a little bit in the trailer just so I could speak on it. We're going to feature also in the next half hour the wonderful actor, one of my favorite actors, Jake Gyllenhaal, who is he's just great in everything he does. He's just, you ever see those actors, they're just great in everything. And then you're like, you'll watch it for them. There's very few movies or a few actors that I'll watch for them, because even if the story's not great, or something like that, I almost just enjoy watching them. And he's one of them. He is one of my faves. Some of his favorite movies, or my favorite of Jake Gyllenhaal, you can go back to one of his earlier ones, October Sky, where he played the character Homer Hickam, which was a true story about this kid in high school who wanted to fly rockets and work with NASA. And he grew up in one of the really Smoky Mountain, backwoods towns, the poor poke-hoke towns that you can imagine. We're talking the coal miner, Sissy Spacek, Loretta Lynn story towns. Just a coal mine and a hope and a prayer. And so he eventually he worked with NASA, and it was amazing. You should watch that movie on October Sky. He was in Brokeback Mountain. He was in Donnie Darko, which was a kind of dark comedy, interesting. What else was he in? One of my favorites, I talk about the movie all the time. They show it on AMC, The Day After Tomorrow, with Dennis Quaid, where he plays a smart high school kid. His father is Dennis Quaid, a climatologist, and the climate of the planet's changing, and they have this big weather event that changes it almost puts them in an ice age. And he has to survive, and his dad's trying to, it's a really good movie. You should check it out, The Day After Tomorrow. He's actually now starring, and why I feature him, in a remake of Roadhouse. They are remaking the classic 1989 Patrick Swayze vehicle, Roadhouse. Now, classic movies, it's hard to remake them because they're classics. You can't do better. Sometimes you just can't do better. Like, I don't want to see another Rocky or another Jaws, or a Godfather. Or these are just one time. For some reason, they're forever movies that were done right, with the right cast, writers, directors. Don't remake it with just today's actors. And I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I couldn't watch much of it. It's on Amazon Prime, so judge for yourself. But it's just, the Patrick Swayze one, and what a cast when you talk about not only Patrick Swayze, Sam Elliott was in it, Kelly Lynch was in it, and some other actors that were great. But hold on a second, my light is turning a little bit. My ring light, that's a little better. We want to have the proper. You see how I fix lighting here? I don't have a lighting crew, lighting tech. I just reach over the screen and fix it myself. So those were such a. Go watch it. It's on Amazon. The original. And I love when he's talking to them. So basically, for those of you who have never seen Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze plays a bouncer he's a hired gun, right? He cleans up bad bars, roadhouse bars, biker bars, and he cleans them up and makes them good, and then goes on his way and goes to another place. And he's a bouncer, like a head bouncer, so he goes in. So the guy that owns it hires him, and Patrick Swayze comes up there, and and it's a real bad bar, and it's a bad whatever, and he's got to clean it up, and he's talking to the new bouncers, and he's like, I want you to be nice. And they go, come on. He goes, no, be nice. He goes, until it's time not to be nice. And that's like the classic line. And I think they do that in this movie. We're getting a call here. I love when we get calls. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. You're on the air. Who's calling?
What's up, Steve? Jeff here. How are you?
Oh, boy, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a surprise for you. Just when you thought this show couldn't get any better or worse. That's why they say that when you're getting married, for better or for worse. Because you're going to get both. Let's be honest. It's never going to be a lot of better, and it's probably going to be more worse. But Mr. Jeff Zervos, welcome. What's up, buddy?
What's up? I have called out of the woodwork. How are you?
I'm glad you're alive, and we'd like to have you on. It's always like to hear from you. I was just talking about the remake of Roadhouse. I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
Oh my God! Why are they remaking Roadhouse?
And I'll tell you. I don't know if did you like the original?
No.
I did, because I like Patrick Swayze. Yes, it was a corny movie. It really was. But something about Patrick Swayze is very enigmatic. Like, he really is those actors that you like to watch. Like I was just mentioning Jake Gyllenhaal, who is playing Dalton, the character of Patrick Swayze, and he's, but it's got Conor McGregor. It's a whole UFC thing. It's set in Florida. They're trying to put a real UFC spin on it, where Dalton's an ex-UFC fighter, and then it's just so bad. It got like a 60 or 59% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I say, why do they do that? Why do they feel the need to remake classics? And again, not that that's a classic, but it's a cult movie.
They have no better ideas.
Thank you.
They just don't.
There's just no better ideas out there, and that's what I feel. I feel like that's an easy out. Let's just redo Jaws. Let's just redo the Gods. Can't you do anything new? I mean,
Of the thousands and thousands of scripts that land on a producer's desk every day, you would think they would have one or two great movies in there that you don't have to remake anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I feel, and I've said this before, and it's safe. It's safe to redo Ghostbusters. Yeah. It's safe because the audience is built in.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you throw a big-time actor like Jake Gyllenhaal, and then you get Conor McGregor, who has his own crazy fan base, and people are going to watch it. So it's a safe thing, and that's what they're in the business of, safe. They're not creators. They're not good. They're in the business of working another year, yep. Or keeping the studio afloat. So no, they're not going to take a chance on dumbbells.
No, of course not.
They're not putting dumbbells on. So, but whatever. I know you're excited about opening day Wednesday, the Yankees.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
Actually, I think it's Thursday. It's the 28th. So opening day will be there. And just in case, Jeff, you want to take a family of 4. So let's say, Jeff, between now and opening day at Yankee Stadium, you get married and have 2 children. Let's say this all happens in the next 2 weeks. Because it could happen. You never know. You could get married, have 2 kids. I mean, having the 2 kids, you'd have to, if you're going to do it in that time frame, you'd probably have to adopt. Let's be serious. But let's say you do this, and you want to go to a Yankee game. You say, I have a new family. I'm very excited. We're going to a Yankee game. It's going to cost you, average for a family of 4, I just said it, $650.
Oh my God.
For a family of 4. These are 4 average price tickets, for a parking, drinks for all the kids and yourself, and that also includes a handgun and bullets to blow your brains out when you have to pay for this.
Where are the seats?
They don't say. They say average price tickets. So.
Okay, so upper deck.
I don't know. I mean, that's got to be because I know that's wrong. Because maybe when I've gone to Yankee games, and when you look, if you go to a game, especially Yankees, you can go on StubHub and get $40 tickets, and yes, they're upper deck, but they're fine. I mean, and I don't, and I get my stuff. I bring my own. I don't buy any beverages there. You could bring a water, or you could bring stuff. But it's the Garden doesn't let you in. Of course not with a thing. You can't. You're lucky you can go in there with your clothes on.
Yeah, really.
They are scoopies. Now, Jeff. Yeah. So they're doing Roadhouse. I would suggest. My suggestion is take a look at it if you like it, whatever. But I'm not a big fan. Yeah. There was. I was going to add. Are you watching any of the March Madness? Some of these games are pretty good. Are you into the college basketball?
I despise college sports.
Thank you. Jeff hates Roadhouse. He hates college sports. All the topics I have for today's show. Let's see. What can I interest Jeff in? I don't have a lot more.
We should have done a pre-interview yet.
Oh well, I should have vetted this show and had somebody else on. Well, do you like bacon, egg, and cheese, Jeff? Because they have announced the winner of the bacon, egg, and cheese contest, the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on Long Island. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
I know Jeff has been waiting for months for these results to come in. Now we don't know if these are accurate. We feel that there was some tampering with the voting. We don't know if this is legit or if this was hacked by the Russians. This could be slighted a bit. So we don't know, and we know how Russians love their bacon, egg, and cheese with a glass with a little vodka. But here we go. It says, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, the reveal Everything Bagel in Comac is the winner of the bacon, egg, and heart attack sandwich. Actually, it's bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm sorry.
Let's go get one.
Yes, well, it's funny. Steve had one in our show last week before we went on. And it says, after 5 rounds of voting and 28,579 votes, which is actually more than voted for Swazi and that other girl for the town. So it really shows where Long Islanders' priorities are. Nobody cares who's running the 5th district, but we do care where you can get your best bacon, egg, and cheese. Let's be honest. That's what's on the mind of Long Island voters. Not taxes, not potholes, not better education systems. Where can I get the best drippy, greasy sandwich?
Oh, see, priorities, man. Priorities, come on.
I get it. Look, I'm a different kind of cat. I'm on a different planet right now. Hey, don't forget to look outside. The Northern Lights tonight. Then
do I have to?
You don't have to.
Oh, good.
And then there's an eclipse April 8th. You might want to check that out, too. There's a total solar, which means the moon is in between the sun and the earth.
I can't get excited for these things. I don't know why.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because they're not exciting.
Is that it?
Jeff just said to me, in case you haven't heard, he can't get up for these things. And I said, well, I'll tell you why. Because they're really anticlimactic. It might get a little cloudy out, and that'll be it. And they warn you, don't look up at the sky. I mean...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'll watch a clip of it on the news.
Get a clip of it on the news. So that was there. Oh, did you? Well, I know you were asking me. We didn't get a chance to, but we're both very interested in the Ghostbusters movie. Now, I want to give you some numbers. They came in. I think if I have them.
45 million opening.
Is that what it was? Thank you for those numbers. I have. You have. What'd you have? 35?
Earlier this afternoon, I saw 45.
45.2 million for Ghostbusters, The Frozen Empire, which is pretty good. It actually is pretty good.
That's just domestic numbers, right?
That's what? Yes.
That's just domestic numbers.
Yes, so that's a pretty nice weekend, especially when Saturday was a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And Kung Fu Panda still holding strong at 3rd. Kung Fu Panda 4. Still steady at 4, and wow. Bob Marley, Cabrini, Love Lies Bleeding, Imagine It. I've never heard of any of these movies. Arthur the King. Dune was 2. Are you a Dune person or not so much? You seem like you'd be a Dune. You are a Dune.
The first Dune, not the original.
Not the
one that
right.
The first one was amazing. I haven't seen the second one.
Okay, so Dune, Jeff is fine. We found something, and this is what I always say about the Steve Squared Show. It can do anything. It can change the world because Jeff, who really doesn't like anything.
Well,
Jeff,
things that are good.
Jeff likes things that are good. He has a very high standard. My standard is very low. As
you want to see a good movie.
Of course I do, and I kid. I'm like that myself. I'm very critical on movies and shows, and I can't watch anything that's out there.
This one was from last year that I just had a chance to see. The one called Past Lives. Did you hear about that one?
No, that's the first Dune?
No, Past Lives. It's a movie from last year. It had an Oscar nomination. I just had a chance to see it finally.
Okay.
It's really good with Greta Lee, but the two Korean kids. They're going to get married one day. Blah blah blah. The girl moves to the United States.
Okay.
Fast forward 20 years later, they reconnect. It's actually really good. I don't agree with the Oscar nomination, but it's pretty good. Past Lives, check it out.
Past Lives. I'm going to check that out. That's a recommendation from Jeff.
If you're into fantasy, check out Damsel on Netflix with Millie Bobby Brown. Also pretty good.
I'm not a big sci-fi fantasy guy. I know you like that. I'm not super big into that. Unfortunately, I can't. And like I wanted to, I knew this. I could from the trailer. I knew this Roadhouse was going to be a bum. Was going to be a bad movie. But you know.
I just saw the poster for it. If you can't tell from the poster, it's going to suck.
Well, that's what it is. It's and I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Like I said, he's great in most things he does. I mean, he's just so good.
Desperate.
He's been into this getting in shape, fighting. I mean, he looks amazing. He's in great shape. I saw his workouts he posted on Instagram. He really, if nothing else, the movie got him into amazing shape because he looks great. But yeah, the movie stinks.
Of course.
Hey, did you hear that? Did you ever shop at Sam Ash? You must have.
I have, yes.
They're closing all their stores.
I knew it. I felt that coming.
Yeah, Sam Ash is closing stores. They're all going to start Huntington. All the stores on Long Island are going to start closing down. It's so sad because Sam Ash, I used to love to go there and play on the drums, and I would just go in there and look at the music books, and it was a fun experience. I didn't just go. I would just go in there to look around.
Well, you know what? Guitar Center probably helped put them out of business.
Yes.
The Guitar Center is amazing.
Yeah, the Guitar Centers, are great. But don't they? They focus on guitars, right?
They have everything.
They have like drums, percussion, everything.
Yeah, they have everything.
Oh, so see, I got to go in and check out a Guitar Center. Maybe that's what happened. Because this is going to hurt music stores because this is what's happening. And it says they're closing the locations. Wow.
Yeah, I used to shop there all the time back in
This is a fourth generation Sam Ash. The 100th anniversary is coming up.
Wow.
Sam Ash has been around for 100 years. It says online competition is the main factor in the closing. Company officials say.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah.
It says online. It says it's an institution. Wow, it's been around here since the 90s, but I'm trying to see when the first Sam Ash... Oh, here it goes. Brooklyn roots, a violinist. He was a violinist, Sam Ash. His real name was Ashkenaz, so they shortened it to Ash. I like Ash way better than Ashkenaz. That would have never worked. Hey, did you go down to Ashkenaz? I'm Sam Ashkenaz. It's so much better that he shortened that to Ash. Actually founded the business in Brooklyn in 1924. And it's 2024, so you're looking at it, wow. With his wife, and it was run by fourth generation after generation. They founded their first store. Now, speaking of violins, ask me if I'm crazy, or did I notice you putting up a violin for sale on Facebook?
I did.
Why are you selling? And it's a beautiful violin, a black one, right?
I bought that violin from Sam Ash.
Really?
About 2 or 3 years ago. I never got around to learning how to play it. It's been sitting in my closet collecting dust. So, you know what? Time to go.
Is it a Stradivarius?
It's nothing that extravagant.
I love it though. You were interested, but I don't know if you should do it. I think you should hold on to it. It's a unique looking violin, and maybe you'll learn.
I'm never going to get around to it.
You don't think?
No. I wanted to so bad, but I just never got around to it. I had other things to come up.
So you were in. I know you like those. Like I was trying to teach myself the harmonica, and we kind of like these kind of things. The violin is such a beautiful instrument, and it's. I think that would be wild if you would do that. But let me ask, because I have a client of mine who is a violinist.
Yeah.
And her daughter is a violinist, so they might be interested. Do you want me to ask?
Sure.
Okay. I'll share the picture that you put up and see if they're interested. It's a beautiful violin.
I will give them the friend of a friend discount.
Oh, fantastic! I wish I played the violin. I kind of like the violin. When I think of violin, though, I think of them playing it in that in that Mel Brooks movie, Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And what is that noise?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But
I wish I learned, but I just didn't have the time.
Oh, I think you should try, but I'm not going to. Oh,
I
here.
like guitars. I'm happy.
All right, yeah, that's true. Here, I'm showing the picture now. I don't know if you're looking at the show, but it says "Cleaning House" and it shows Jake Gyllenhaal. So, if nothing else, if you want to see Jake Gyllenhaal's chest, there's a lot of opportunity in this movie.
Why can't I get a chest like that, Steve? Why?
Yeah, of course. You know what? Let's do it.
Why?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of retouching in this photo.
You think?
No, I'm kidding. He did probably, but he did a lot of work. I'm going to say Jake Gyllenhaal's that type of guy. I trust that he got in the gym and he, look, Jeff, let's be honest. This guy can, for 6 to 12 months, just live in a gym to get ready for a role.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When these guys are preparing, they have nothing else to worry about. They don't have to worry about working, money. Their food is prepared for them. Everything is done to put them in the best possible situation, which is a lot. And me as a trainer who is someone that doesn't like to hear excuses, I understand that, you have family and work and things, and when all of those things are taken out of the equation and you just can focus on yourself and someone's helping preparing your meals and someone's doing everything, that's a leg up.
Yeah.
And you could do it. But I get it. It's hard, but, I totally get it. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire got pretty good reviews. It says a solid second entry in what's turning out to be quite a franchise. Obviously they're trying to get the Stranger Things younger audience involved in this. So they're trying to make it that kind of supernaturally type of feel, like Stranger Things with the kids and the thing. And I get it. That's the way everything's going, and they have to get more audience than the people that love the 80s Ghostbusters, right? They're not going to make millions on that. I get it. So I understand. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, oh, I just want to see Bill Murray and, Dan Aykroyd. So, and I like, and those kids.
There's a lot of people complaining that Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd are still in it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure there's those people too that are like, let's.
And you know what? If they're going to do a third one, they have to get past the original cast.
That's probably, I guess, yeah. I think they did it wrong, and the way they did it was they didn't do enough of them in Afterlife and could have just finished it at that, then proceeded on without them in this one.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done it like this. They reversed it, and now they're almost making them more of it. In this one, they should have reversed it. They should have had a nice transition. Said, here's a little bit of the old guys, but here's what's coming up, and this is what's going to, take it forward. Paul Rudd and this cast. And then they could have added some new kids or whatever they wanted to do to this one. But they're still latching on. They're trying to have the best of both worlds.
Yep.
They're like, let's hang on this for the other people and let's give them this for these people. And, Jeff, it's about the cash register, let's be honest.
Of course.
They have to get as many eyes on this film as possible. 45 million, to be exact. And it's PG-13, which is even better. That means we can go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Although I'm much more of a fan of R-rated movies. So, this was... I got this paper. Sometimes from Newsday I get the retro paper.
Mm.
And I got a retro paper. This year was the year 1989, black and white. I guess they didn't invent color in 1989 yet. So the newspapers were still in black and white. And it's March 1st, 1989. And I look through it, and I pull out an article. And this is really interesting. It says, featured new young up-and-coming actress, Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, I love Elizabeth Shue.
I know you do, and I knew you would like this. So, for those of you who are not familiar with Elizabeth Shue, and you should be, she is, of course, was in The Karate Kid. She was in Back to the Future. She was in, Cocktail. She was in Adventures in Babysitting, and a bunch of TV stuff. And she was, she's great. She's just, obviously, she made some appearances in Cobra Kai, the new series, because they were the love interest of Ralph Macchio and William Zabka's characters. So, and she's very good. But it says here, it's like Elizabeth Shue is a wonderful new young quirky actress becoming America's favorite new face. You may have seen her in Karate Kid, Adventures Cocktail. She got her start doing some Burger King commercials. Now, of course, Burger King has launched many a great career. I believe Betty Davis did the Burger King route too, right? Betty Davis was a huge Burger King actress. Yes, and but then she went to LA, her career took off, and it says here, now this is funny, this is 1989, so obviously it's before internet, before social media. It says, you can write to Elizabeth, care of Andrea Jaffe, Sunset Boulevard, Suite 401, Los Angeles, California. Do you think we should write to this address and see if it gets to Elizabeth Shue? You think she's still living there?
Let's give it a shot.
Let's do it.
It might be a front for a porn house nowadays, but let's give it a shot.
I'm going to guess that it is, or it's some kind of USC, it's some kind of cockfighting, some kind of bad chicken fighting or something like that, that's in some dirty South LA house. And Elizabeth Shue has long moved on and bettered herself into more better digs, as they say.
Yeah, she's beyond that now.
She's beyond that. But hey, but that's... She is again one of my I'm glad we had a chance to really feature, because again I like to immerse people into new actors and introducing them. So watch the homework for you all. Watch a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. I named a whole bunch. Watch an Elizabeth Shue movie or a couple. She's fantastic. I have so much homework for the Steve Squares out there. Also, don't forget to go outside tonight, and look up at the sky, but don't do it looking up in the middle of the road. Stay, because I don't want to then get a lot of lawsuits that people did that and then they were blasted by an 18-wheeler while looking up. Because if you notice, people are either looking up or looking down when they're in the middle of the road. They're never looking for safety. They're either texting or their minds are somewhere else. So anyway, definitely check out those Northern Lights. Don't forget the eclipse. Do you know, Jeff, we have a guest in the studio next week. I think I mentioned this guy to you. Joshie K is a magician. He's going to be on the Steve Square Show. It's going to be our first time with a magician. We've never had a magician on the show. Yes. I hope he makes the whole show disappear. I'm going to ask him if he could do that, or at least Steve.
Right? It sounds like fun.
I think so, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the Steve Square... And then the show's off the air. Or maybe, if nothing else, maybe he could saw Steve in half. Something like that. I'm trying to get more eyes on the show, and I thought that might be. Steve won't do it, though. Steve's not a team player. He's not a team player. I told him, I said, Steve, come on, I'll give you, what's it worth to you to have this guy try to saw you in half? I'll get you an egg sandwich.
Hey, can you get me a flat stomach?
The magician?
Yeah, sure, I'll come in.
Come on in. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this guy, let's see. But
abracadabra and get me a six-pack?
You don't need abracadabra, Joe. You can do it. I am going to motivate you. I just held up these nuts, the omegas, and the good healthy nuts and the good healthy foods. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. For those of you out there that say you can't do it, you can. Put your mind to it. Make one change a day. It's all about one change a day, one change a week. One diet change, just go for a walk. The weather's getting nice. Go for a walk and check out that. Where I run, there's bald eagle sightings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you're a nature guy. Get the bike out, go for a walk. You're going to see. I mean, Long Island's got such really amazing nature to see, I have to say. Besides all the tanning booths and malls, we have nature too. So if after you've done getting some pizza at Sabaro's, and then you went to Hollywood Tan, go out and see a bald eagle or something, or go to something nature and enjoy some of the beautiful paths that Long Island has to offer. Where I run is really nice. When you can get by the vaping smoke and the pot from the kids in the woods. If you can navigate that, it's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's gorgeous. There's always a hint of disdain in everything I talk about.
You're very angry. You're very passive aggressive.
Oh yeah, I am very passive aggressive. People that are passive aggressive, let's be honest, they're wimps. They can't just be angry. They have to do it in a very sleight of hand way, like a magician. They can't just say, like I told you, I got taken by the Cadillac people. I didn't have the plums, if you will, to tell this guy off, so instead I got whatever. But let me not end on a sour note. Let me end on something positive. It's March 25th.
Be positive, come on.
Opening day is coming up. We'll watch it, hopefully they'll put it together. The Knicks are playing well. March Madness is coming down to the final Sweet 16. The Northern Lights, the eclipse. Try to eat some healthy foods, the omega-3 nuts, and go for a walk. It's nothing simpler than a glass of water and a walk. I have this little ditty. It's called an idiom that's in my Anything is Possible book, and it talks about the 6 things that are simple to do, and it's let me see if I can remember them. It's sunshine, water, rest, air, exercise, and diet. Those few things are all you need to a healthier you. So I hope you.
Is that how I get a six-pack?
Well, no, that and 3 vials of testosterone. But I have to say that off the air. I can't. I'm under investigation by the FCC and the FBI. So let's keep it clean here, Jeff. All right. I'll talk to you about the other stuff after the show.
All right. You can inject me later.
Yeah, sure. I'm also a practicing. I'm a practicing physician. I'm very practicing. I haven't mastered it yet. So I love when I'm practicing. Anyway, thank you all, Jeff. I'll let you go. Thanks for calling in, buddy. I'll talk to you, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the what shows we got coming up.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steve.
All right, Jeff. I'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Later, bud. Oh, thank you for Jeff for calling in. That was great. Thanks for Kermit for always hanging in and being part of the show. And thanks to all of you squares for we always appreciate you watching and sharing the show. The Steve Squared Show. Like I said, you can always go to the Instagram. My Instagram, Stephen R. Kaminsky, and check out any updates that we have on the show of dumbbells or of anything else I'm working on. And definitely try, I'm telling you, that's your homework. Grab some healthy nuts while you're outdoors tonight watching the Northern Lights. Wear a coat. It's a little chilly out. And enjoy. Have a safe week. It's a holiday week, so have a safe week. We will see you next Monday It'll be a magical Monday because we're going to have a magician in, Joshy K. And we'll all be in the studio, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. So once again, for myself, Funny Man Stevie K, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Monday.